All right, so let me draw two identical squares. So this is meant to be a square. I'm hand drawing it with this art tool. It's not going to be perfect, but we're just going to assume that that's a square. Pretty good there. And I said two identical squares, so let me just actually copy and paste this one. So copy and then paste. There you go. I have two squares, and if I want to make it extra clean, I can cut off this little thing here that I didn't need to draw. Let me cut that off too. I don't want this to be an art video. We have to get into the math soon. But then let me delete this one too. All right. So let's just assume these are two identical squares. And now on this one on the left, I'm going to start with 1/2 of that square. So to look at 1/2, I'm just going to divide it straight down the middle. I could go a little bit further to the right. Straight down the middle. And so what I am shading in right over there, that is 1/2 of the square. I essentially just took half of this side up here, and I just divided the square right down there. Now this one on the right, I'm going to think about it in terms of fourths. So let me do that. So let me first divide it into a half. I could go a little bit. No, that's hard to eyeball. Okay, that's half. And then let's see, if I divide each of those sides, that looks about right. All right. So now here, I'm going to shade in 1/4 of the square. You'll see where this is going in a second. Now on this left one, what I want to do is take 1/4 of that 1/2. How do I do that? Well, what I could do is I can divide the square this way, first in half, and then in 2/4. That is looking pretty good, if I say so myself. Not perfect. And so what you see is I've divided into fourths. So if I were to take 1/4 of that 1/2, that 1/2 here is in orange. It's into 4 equal sections. So 1/4 of that 1/2, I could say, is this right over here. So that's 1/4 of that 1/2. And you can see what's going on here. This doubly shaded area, that is equivalent to 1/4 of that 1/2. And we can see what that is in terms of the whole square. The whole square is now divided into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 equal rectangles, or areas, I guess you could say. And this is one of those. So this is 1/8 of the entire square. Now let's go the other way around. Here we started with 1/4. And what I want to do is I want to take half of that. So let me now divide it this way into 2. And so half of that 1/4 is where this overlaps. If I were to take half of the whole square, I would shade all of that, but I want to take half of this 1/4. So one way you could think about it, I took this 1/4, I divided it into 2, and I'm just going to take half of it. And so that is that over there. Now this doubly shaded area is 1/2 times 1/4. You could view that as half of 1/4. There's other ways you can interpret it. Now why is this interesting? Well, we can once again see when we look at the entire square, it's into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 equal rectangles, or 8 equal areas, or 8 equal sections. And this is one of them. So this is also going to be equal to 1/8. So hopefully what you just saw there is there's different ways of visualizing unit fractions. That's what these are, with area models. But we also saw that you're going to get the same thing if you multiply 1/2 or 1/4 times 1/2 as you're going to get from 1/2 times 1/4. And you've probably seen this already in multiplication. It doesn't matter what order you multiply things in. If you take 1 times 2, that's the same thing as 2 times 1. If you take 587 times 326, that is the same thing as 326 times 587. And you see that that's also true with these unit fractions. I've just given you examples, but you could keep doing it with others, and you will keep getting that same result.